Hey, what's up? PizzaLovingNerd here. I do not think gaming on Linux is an issue anymore. In this video, we will be calculating the number of games that can run on Linux. We will only be talking about desktop Linux because Android has way too many games to count. And we are going to want to start with Steam games. So, yeah. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to Steam database, and I'm actually going to get a calculator out for this video. So Steam database, and as you can see, when we head over to Steam database, you're going to want to go to apps. Whoops. You're going to want to go to apps here, or not apps. Somewhere it should have a number of Steam games. It's just going to do classic search. Here we go. So, as you can see, if we scroll down here, there are 5,850 Linux games that are native to Linux. So, actually, when I first wrote the script, it was at only 5,836, but whatever. So we're going to do 5,850. All right. So that starts off with a decent amount of games here. Now, according to the Arch Wiki, we find this. Should have pulled all these up before I started this video, but whatever. According to the open source wiki, or the Arch Wiki, there is a list of games. Now, I counted all of these games by hand, and I determined that this list has 261 games. So now these are all free and open source games. Although I'm going to, yeah, never mind. So, yeah, we're gonna do, I messed that up. There we go. So now we have 6,111 games. Now, next, we're gonna talk about retro gaming. Linux can run pretty much any retro games, thanks to RetroArch and other emulators. So we're going to count how many retro games we can play. No, I will only be counting American games. According to the ROM Depot, we got 661 Atari 2600 games, 90 Atari 5200 games, 66 NTSC Atari 7800 games. So, oops. 88 Atari Lynx games. What else? 58 Atari Jaguar games. 164 ColecoVision games. 448 Game Boy games. 396 Game Boy Color games. Ah, come on. I keep forgetting to add a plus. What is it? Yeah, 448. Okay, we also got 396 oh come on. 396 Game Boy Color games, 703 Game Boy Advance games. We got 778 NES games. We got 361 and 64 games. And we got I'm just gonna hold on. We got 1,804 is it DS games. We got 1717 PlayStation games. We got 50 32X games. We got 142 Sega CD games. We got 485 Dreamcast games. 235 Game Gear games. We got 371 Genesis games. We got 308 Master System games. Okay, we got 356 Mega Drive games. 66 Sega Saturn games. We have 772 SNES games. And from other sources other than the ROM Depot, we got 8 18 1,850 PS2 games, 1,262 Wii games, and 657 GameCube games. So that is 13,888 retro games we can play on Linux, which I must subtract from this total. I'll show you why in a second. And note, those were only consoles and handhelds. If I added the Commodore 64 or DOS games, that there would be so many more games. Now, for this video, I will be assuming that 15% of those games are ports or remakes of existing games. The reason I chose 15% is I thought 20% was too high and 15% was too low. 15, if you subtract 15% of the total amount of retro games, you get 11,805. So now we have 18,364 games. I think I made a mistake here. Can I undo that? No? Okay. Hold on a second. 5,380 plus. And then, okay, there we go. I got a lower number in my script. Whatever. Now we are going to calculate the amount of games that will work with Proton. Now I'm going to actually need another calculator window here. So I'm just going to do calculator. I'm just going to use this one because we need a second window. And I'm also going to pull up Proton database. Now, my script is a little bit outdated, so because I made the script about 3 days, or actually I made the script last Friday, so I made it around 6 days ago. So my script is a little bit outdated. So keep in mind this will change. Now we have there are around 2,000. I'll pull this up in another window. Oof. I'm gonna have to redo my calculations, but see here. There are around 28,970 Windows games, and we're going to subtract the amount of Linux games here, which gives us a total of 23,112 and 20. So not that far off. So now, in another calculator window, we're gonna head over to Proton database. Now, according to Proton database, here it is. According to Proton database, there are 6,653 games that have been reported, and 3,876 of those work correctly. So what we are going to do is we're going to get a percentage by doing we're going to do 3,879 divided by 60. Whoops, that's a 9. 60, 66, 53, and there we go. So we get around 58%. So that's a decimal form of a percent. So you just remove the decimals, and that's what we get for a percent. So around 58%. So now we're going to take this number and we're going to multiply it by 0.58, which gives us 58% of the games, which rounds up to about 13,000 13,410. So we're just at a 0.4 to round up. There we go. So now we're going to add this number to the amount of Linux games, or of other games, and boom. So that's 30,000 games that you can play on Linux. Now this is actually a lot. And I thought choosing a Linux distribution was hard. Now I have to choose what game to play. Gosh darn.